We didn't touch on the teams that I think are the two worst teams in the league, which are the Gators and the Preds. The Gators is the other big question mark in my mind. I have them at 6.5 win total, and I have them under there as well, which is it's crazy me giving them the under there when you have the same nucleus that won the World Series just the season before.
Welcome back to Fade the Mahoney, everybody. This is our week 3 preview edition of Major League Wiffle Ball. Big thank you to Drew Davis for coming on last week to help us preview the Eagles and Magic, right? That was week 2. He helped us with that. This is our first time we're going to have one of the professional athletes who are actually playing in this week's game on the show. We've got Brendan Jorgensen right here, aka Jorgy. Jorgy. And of course, Trevor's here. Jorgy was one of the first people to watch our season preview show, and let it be known to everybody on YouTube that he was not happy with some of the numbers that were put on there. So maybe we'll get some action out of it. Specifically, Jorgy, awful line, 6.5 over under set for you guys. That was it, right? That's what set you off?
Yeah, just honestly, like thinking about it again, I feel like if you just bumped up to maybe like 7.5, I feel like that'd be better. Like even just like a little movement just seems a lot better than 6.5. But I don't know. I just feel like we had an awful year last year and we still went 7 and 8. So
Can I explain my 6.5 where I got it from a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
So it was more of not a disrespect to your team, but more of a strength of schedule issue for me. I think I have you favored against the Preds in this game coming up this week. And then after that, I have you underdogs in all 4 of the final games. And that's basically just because of the way that I did the Mallards numbers, just because I was high on the Mallards. So, you play the D-backs and the Wildcats and the Eagles, and all 3 of those teams I had as favorites against you guys in those games, which is why you come up with that number. Obviously, like 7.5, 6.5, it's really tough to decide between in those numbers.
Yeah.
And it can end up being really close. It just means that you guys win one series over, or obviously you sweep the Preds or something like that, which is certainly possible, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, after seeing the first series of the Eagles, they do look really good. Their pitching I was at that series, and Dan and Dallas were just doing whatever they wanted, it seemed like. And I'm even surprised they lost that second game because Chadwick, I mean, he was good, obviously. He didn't give up any runs, but he just looked like just not quite as good as Dan. Like Dan was throwing the nut job. His riser was just drifting all the way up in the zone. So I definitely think the Eagles are going to be tough. And I mean, obviously Jordan's fantastic, but it's just so hard to gauge them right now. I mean, we've had really good success against Mallards in the past, so I don't know how much he's going to be able to help. I'm sure he will, but it's really weird to gauge because just like he's never, kind of what Drew was saying last week, he hasn't really done something like this before.
Yeah, agreed. And it's interesting though, like if you guys had, say, the Magic and Cobras on your schedule rather than, let's say, obviously the Wildcats and Diamondbacks, that's a huge swing in what your number looks like. So, and obviously in a season when you only play 5 series, it's really hard to run these numbers and figure out the best way to go. But after the first couple of weeks, I'm a little bit, obviously just after seeing one series, I'm a little bit down on the Diamondbacks, but I had the under on them anyway. I was high on the Wildcats and I was high on the Eagles. So I feel like so far I've been doing pretty good with what I thought was going to happen. But obviously all these things are super close.
Yeah, I think something to look out for too, because we played the Wildcats our last series. If they're this dominant all year, and they might have something locked up by then, and they might be kind of just throwing Jackson in there to pitch, maybe kind of like not caring as much, where might be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, something I didn't really consider. Just like they I think they're definitely the best team in the AL. I think that's pretty clear. And then it's the NL is so closely packed between the 4 teams. It could really be anybody. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you have a comment? What did Drew tell me to tell you? You're not the ace, and I can tell you that you're not the ace for the team. Any comments?
I mean, I might not be. Chris had a really good year last year. I was down a little bit last year, but I think we're just kind of like, we both know we have good stuff, and when we're both hot, we're really good. So it's just kind of like he pitches one of the first 2 games, I pitch the other one, then whoever looks better is more confident game 3, that's who we'll go with. So, I mean, and he might pitch more, I might pitch more, but it's just kind of like, just depends on the series and how well the other team's seeing us.
Drew really really brought the heat. He went scorched earth. He called you out for not being the ace. He called Jordan out, telling him he's not used to this league. And I mean, let's be fair. He killed the Predators for how they draft, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And Mac was there today, so you'll get to see him. He played games 2 and 3, so you'll get to take a look at him early.
Interesting. I'm very interested to see that, because I also was not a fan of the pick myself, but what do I know? But it just seemed like I think they seem like they're going the opposite direction than, like, say, Dan has gone, or even you guys went, obviously taking Reese this year. Like it feels like they're going in the opposite direction of that route. More just staying with like the friend group or people that they're cool with. And that's cool. It's whatever. I mean, you saw how much chemistry matters, obviously, last season and the season before that. The chemistry that you guys built was pretty strong too. So
yeah, I get that, but I also feel like, I mean, you have the second pick. I would have went and taken some guy that has a lot more wiffle ball experience, and I don't think anyone knew who Mac really was. So I feel like if you really want him, you could have just picked him up after the draft.
Yeah, or you just trade, right? Make a trade and
back.
figure something like that. So yeah, I'm in the same boat with you guys on that one.
Okay, but are either of you prepared to say that? What's the manager's name again, Trevor?
Warda?
Yeah. Are either of you prepared to say on the record that they need to replace him?
No, I'm not. I love Warda. He's still a great hitter, and I don't know. I feel like that was also like that was Cratch's friend, so it kind of might have been Cratch telling him what to do. Like honestly, like when we make a lot of our decisions with the Gators, whether it's like when we drafted Reese, I mean that was more of me and Chris's idea. So honestly, we do kind of everything as like just like a whole group. We don't like for pitching, that's kind of like me and Chris's side. We'll like talk about batting lineups, but and then like Zara like might get the last say, but we really just do everything as a group kind of.
Yeah, but you guys have earned that. You guys have won a World Series, right?
They won a World Series too.
Oh,
They won the year before we did.
For your time of watching JoJo.
Yeah, I guess so.
You
So
need
I'm gonna edit out all that shit talking.
No, that stays in.
Not gonna exist.
You
All right.
got to go back and watch the archives like I did millions of times. Come on, buddy.
You watched every show 3 times during quarantine. Sound about right?
Well, so Jorgy, a little background for you. I play poker for a living, and I play online poker in New Jersey. And so during the quarantine, my kids were home. I was like playing nonstop all day long. And while I was playing, I also had the games on. Like I was just going back. I found MLW at some point during then. I was just going back and watching all the old seasons and stuff like that. And that entertained me while I was playing poker. So that's how I got into it.
Just right in the background, because I mean, poker, you don't need to be like, especially if you fold. You're just like, all right, let me just watch it.
I'm also like I used to play like 14 tables at a time, and then I switched games to a different. I play pot limit Omaha now, so and I only play a few games at a time. So I was still playing like 4 tables at a time while watching MLW. So
you said 14.
Yeah.
So are you just like boom, 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 and then back to the beginning? That's crazy. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
You do some gambling from what I hear, Jorgy. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay. He over exaggerated that quite a bit. I do. I'm honestly more of like a fantasy football guy. Like I'm in like 8 different leagues or something. So like when it comes to that, I love fantasy football. When it comes to sports betting, like I do it a bit. Like, well, recently I just got a new job, but before that I didn't have like a lot of money. So I was kind of like every now and then. So I do it a little bit, but Jason Chadwick does it quite a bit. Chris Cheatham, like he does it so much. Like that's all he talks about. Like we were talking about what we do like at the gym. He's like, yeah, between sets, I'm making bets. I'm like, of course you are. So if you want to talk to someone about betting, he's all over on Twitter, looking at prop bets, following people on Twitter. Let's see what I need to do. Every odds boost he's taken. It's nuts.
Who do you guys bet with there in Michigan? You have DraftKings, FanDuel, Barstool, probably.
I do FanDuel a lot. DraftKings like a little bit. Chris has probably like all of them and just looks at like promos. I know he likes FanDuel the best, but he'll look at like what the promos are on all the different apps and like do that. So he's everywhere.
All right. I will. Hopefully, Chris watches one or two of these and finds out that we exist. Chadwick is already locked and loaded to come on the show before. I think their next game is week 8, so I think he's coming on that week. So
yeah, that was my roommate in college.
All right.
I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to things, and I called him Chidwick like 4 times in the thing, and it's because there's a poker player named Steven Chidwick, and so that's just on my head. And then after I watched it back, I was like, I can't believe I know his name is Chadwick. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I saw you like tweet apologizing to him.
Yeah, I felt bad.
He seemed cool with it. He's ready to come on. So excited about that. All right. Before we recap or preview your guys' big game coming up on Friday, or the big series, just to go back to what we did this past week, Trevor, you had the odds as a pick'em between the Eagles and the Magic. Very even matchup, so seemed to be a pretty darn good number per usual. And then you were waffling back and forth between 9.5 and 10.5 as the total. But Drew's inside information about how the ball gets a little wonky into the second game made you push it up a little. Didn't matter. I bet the over. I lost badly. We think unofficially that series had the most men left on base in any series of all time. I think every inning was bases loaded. Nobody scored.
No, it can't be all the time though, because you have to go back in time. There used to be so many like 0-0 games going to like the 8th inning. So, although there probably wasn't a lot of people on base then. There was a lot of people left on base in those games.
Yeah, there definitely was. There was a lot of contact, but not a lot of power.
Yeah, I lost $100 on the over and never had a chance. All right,
I had the Eagles too. Don't forget that.
What's that?
I had the Eagles too. I told to take the Eagles.
Yes, you did.
So also some background here for you. If you guys watch this show, and if Cheatham watches this show, which he should, normally you take the opposite of what we say, which is why you fade the Mahoney, because we're idiots and we are terrible at sports betting.
This is true.
When it comes to LMLW, you should actually listen to what I say.
Yes, Trevor is very, very good. It's almost like he gets results somehow. But Dirty Dan Schultz and Dallas Allen, both were excellent, both on the mound. Very, very good. Your pick for the year, Dallas Allen, threw a no-hitter. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
I think game 3, they won game 3, 1-0, right?
Yeah, they did.
Pretty sure he threw a no-hitter. We've got a history with that Bonham kid. He didn't really do a whole lot this week.
I thought he was all right, but it was just like they just didn't get a lot of run support, but he wasn't terrible.
I mean, you could, when you hit the ball, we're trying to teach the kids how to gamble on sports. You guys as professional athletes should probably teach the kids when you make contact with the ball, hustle out to first.
Yeah.
Just something to think about. All right. This week, what do we got this week? Trevor?
I'm just laughing that you have somehow become the president of the Trevor Bonham Hater Club. I don't understand how you became such a hater.
Bonham hater.
He said, "This is a Bonham hater." I don't know what happened.
I'm not necessarily a hater, but I mean, when I call out LeBron James for switching teams just because he doesn't think he's going to win the championship every other year, and then, Bonham seemed to do the same thing last week.
That's what it's from? It's because he switched teams?
I mean, in the middle of the season, they weren't going to make the playoffs, and all of a sudden he wants to go somewhere else. It just seemed weird to me.
I think, honestly, Tommy, we went to dinner after the series, the Mavs Gators series, and Tommy just texted him. He's like, I don't know, I might would you want to be traded? Like, I know we're not making the playoffs this year. Would you want to be traded? And he was like, sure.
Oh, so Tommy wanted him off the team?
Honestly, it wasn't because Tommy didn't want him. I think Tommy actually felt bad. He wanted him to because he's a good player. He wanted him to get some actually play in the playoffs and get some meaningful games. So
okay, I think he went 0-2 last week on the bump.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But I think
it's hard to start worse than that.
I can't believe it. You've got this role now. You've got to stick to it forever. It doesn't matter. He had a great playoffs too. It doesn't matter what he did. You're still hating on him.
Well, it's awesome. I doubt very much that LeBron will ever be on this show and be able to fight back at me for all the crap I've said, but maybe Bonham will come on one time and put me in my
Oh,
place.
geez. I might tell him to reject your offer now.
He'd probably have a great time.
Listen, I'm here sticking up for him. I know how well he pitched last year and how he hit in the playoffs well. So you can see. Well, first of all, I didn't even show this. I got mine in the mail today too, which thank you very much, Mike Jojo, for that. That was very nice of you. I never thought that I would have a Mallards jersey as my first MLW jersey.
That's your first one?
First one, yeah. I never thought that was going to happen, but I honestly, I was a huge fan of the Gators during the season. I still am. I'm a fan of all the teams, but like that run that you guys had was awesome. So I definitely like the white alternate that you guys had. I had my eye on that one.
Thank you. That was actually my design.
Ah, it's nice. All right. So what we got for this week? That's what you want to know, right, Jojo?
Yeah, we got the Gators and the Preds. I know where you're going to have the line based upon season win totals, but lay it on for the people. How big of favorites are the Gators, and what's the total for the 3 games?
So I have them at -150.
Okay. So for those of you who are new to sports gambling, that means if you want to bet on the Gators to win at least 2 games, you have to lay $150 to win 100.
I think that's pretty reasonable. It might even be higher than that. I when the late lines come in, I might even push it up a little higher. The run total I just struggle with constantly, and I just keep going back to Drew talking about the game twos and the potential struggles with pitching and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think obviously both teams have very good pitching. I'm assuming that McGlade is going to be the number 2 for the Preds. I have no idea what they're planning on doing, but so I went with 11.5. I don't know. That feels like it's so hard to set these run lines in these games with 3 games, and I don't know. So you can take a side, whatever you want, Jojo.
I will chase the over. I'll chase it. Even though you keep pushing it up. We'll do our standard 100. I'll take the over. I just view it as all you need is just one game where it goes 4-4 into extra innings or something like that, and it's pretty tough for me to lose. So we're locked in there. We're good with that. Yep. And who you're the expert. Who do you like for the series price?
I'm taking the Gators.
Okay.
I think 150 is a reasonable line, but it could go higher. I just think they're gonna. I think that this could be a series that they win 3-0, and if that happens, then obviously my line for the season is in danger. But then
you took 2 unders for the both teams, and they're playing head to head in the first matchup. That makes it pretty tough for you to win both.
Yeah.
All right. You got any thoughts, Jorgy, you want to share with us for this upcoming series that's going to be on YouTube on Friday? Going into it?
I just got home 3 hours ago. We just played it, so obviously I know what happens. I know if you guys are right or wrong, but 11.5, that is interesting. Because I think there is good pitching in the series. But like you said, one game can push it up. So who knows? It's weird because do you know what the total of the first series was?
14.
14, and then last was
14 and
5.
5. It was 5 last series.
2-1, 1-1, 1-0, 1-0. Yeah.
Exactly. See, it's just like 14 and 5, such a big difference. So it's so hard to calculate that for the MLW, just because like it's not like it's so much easier to analyze like professional sports when they play so much, and then wiffle balls just can do anything. So
that's why I get paid the big bucks to do it.
Yeah, you got the tough job. These bookies got the easy job.
Please don't sell yourself short and say, this is professional sports. We cover and gamble on all professional sports, NFL, NBA, whatever the other ones are, MLW, we cover all of them. So,
trust me, I love to call myself a professional athlete any chance I get.
All right. Okay, so we did week 2. We got week 3 coming up. Week 4, been in pretty good negotiations with this gentleman. He's going to come on and help us preview what has to be one of the most anticipated first series of the year with all the shit talking that Drew Davis did last week, and the stuff that Jordan's telling me offline is it's going to be a big series. You're going to have to do some extra numbers crunching for that one, Trevor. What do we got? Anything else? We good?
What are Jorgy's thoughts on Robles and him coming into the league?
Honestly, it's a little up and down. I do like how they're giving him a chance to be in the spotlight because he's been doing this for so long. He's put so much effort into it, and what he does doesn't get like as much recognition. And then like, I mean, you got kids that come in the MLW with like no football experience that are getting all these viewers. So I think that's cool. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know if he's just gonna like just light the world on fire or not, but it's gonna be interesting. I know some people are a little mad about it, but you know, I haven't met Jordan in person. I heard he's a great dude. The people that went out to like the tournament say he's a great dude. So I wish I could go to the series, but unfortunately I have a wedding to go to. But I was planning to go. I wanted to see him for the first time, but I guess I might have to try to catch the live or something. Do you guys watch the lives on Instagram or no?
I avoid them just so that it doesn't bias my prediction thing, and also I usually don't have the time to watch live, and I like the produced videos anyway. So
Yeah, I mean I watch it because people tell me what happens, but I feel like if I wasn't in the league, I wouldn't want to watch it. I would just wait till the video came out.
Yeah, the way that we cover your sport is it's played on Friday. That's how we cover it. So
The way to go.
I think maybe before next week, Trevor, you and I could put our heads together and maybe update Cy Young rankings and so forth, because I assume we had some movement last week because
It is going up.
Dirty did really well. Dallas, again, I'm like 90% sure he threw a no-hitter, which is pretty good.
I love Dallas. Obviously, a lot of my best bets were at Dallas coming this season. But like my biggest issue with him trying to get Cy Young or anything else was that he's probably only going to get one game a series.
That makes it tough.
I'm so interested to see how things go moving forward, especially like we talked about, you know, if the league tends to expand or something like that, because I feel like Dallas is the type of guy who could be a captain of a team at one point down the line. So, you know, getting him two games of pitching a series, I think seems like something that could happen.
Yeah. And I feel like kind of what Kyle did with Saylor. I feel like if a series Dan kind of gets hit off, I don't think he would have any issue with throwing Dallas the next two. So
yeah, that's why I was so high on them. But their issue is what you saw in the last series is that they need to hit the ball. They need to have some home runs. And I was really surprised that they went with that 5-man lineup. But I guess that was the only game that Blade's going to play all season. So yeah. I'm guessing they're just going to go 4-man from there on.
Yeah, I assume. Yeah, I was very surprised when they put 5 first game. I was like, wow, when's the last time someone's done that? And then just every game they're throwing out 5. I'm like, holy crap.
I did have one more question for you too, if you can answer it. My thought was that you guys might use the DH role a decent amount with Reese. I don't know too much about his experience, but is that something that you guys are thinking about doing?
It's possible, especially if I just can't get it going at the plate. I mean, I had not a very good year at the plate last year, so I mean, if we won and, you know, Zerlag, Reese, and Chris all hitting good and I'm not, then I could just go in and pitch and he could DH for me. It's definitely possible. I mean, I'm hoping that won't be needed because I need to hit well. So,
okay. Gotcha. Cool.
All right. Awesome. We are ready for week 3. Little free advice. I think you guys should do like NFL and label your games by week.
3.
Just an idea.
We don't. Yeah, we usually just call it like slate 1, slate 2.
Oh, okay, that's good to think of. Okay, so
but that's like for the whole group of games.
Gotcha. All right, awesome, Jorgy. This was great. We're ready for week 3. Week 1 and 2 we're good. Trevor's winning. No, we're even right now, right? I won the first week. You won the second week.
On everything else, I'm down $1 million, and you need to give me a chance to get it back, please.
Yeah, we'll do. Jorgy, thank you very much for coming on. This was awesome. Let's connect again down the road. You can shut Trevor up by making the playoffs, and maybe we'll talk to you before a playoff series. Sound good?
Yep, that's the plan.
I'll be happy if you make the playoffs. I'll be happy. It'd be great.
Yeah, as a past Gators fan. 2 years removed.
As a championship season Gators fan, definitely.
I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked to learn that the Predators won the World Series at one point. All right.
Yeah.
Good gambling, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Jorgy.
No problem.
All right, everybody. This should be seamlessly put in after we spoke to Jorgy. This is a very quick postscript to that episode because the people require, they demand picks to fade. So I've got two of the worst here. Last week, Edonk back on track. Lost both bets last week, buddy. Nice job. We had a little hiccup a couple weeks ago where you picked a winner. We can't be having that.
I had the Mavs in the over last night.
I don't know what and the what.
I had the Mavs and the over.
Oh, that didn't go very well.
Wish I would have known that.
Trevor and I had a little discussion, and he also liked the Mavs, so that worked out well for me. I do very well against Trevor as long as he picks. If I have to pick, it doesn't go very well. All right, Trevor, call it in the air.
Tails.
Tails it is. Do you want to pick the NBA game or do you want to do an NHL game? We're going to do one of each.
I know far less about the NHL, so I'll take the NHL game.
Okay, we're going to do the closer game, which is the Lightning and the Panthers. Panthers are minus 165. I don't know how to best to do this. I don't know. Just tell me who you think is going to win and what the score is going to be, and we'll grade you as getting it wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lightning.
Okay.
Mostly because they are Florida's true team, and their arena is very close to my other house, which is relevant because I'm going to have to sell that house soon, probably.
Why? Edonk, why do you think he has to sell his house soon?
I don't know. He probably made some poor NFT investments.
Yeah, it's all going to zero.
All of it's going to zero. All right, so you're taking.
Can you just keep the house and I'll just buy one couch and like I can pay you not much in rent.
Well, the issue is that all the couches have already been sold as a means to get more money. So there's not. You can have the floor if you want.
Yeah, no. I'll bring my own. I'll like bring my own air mattress or something.
All right. So you're telling me that you still have an air mattress to bring. You're not broke yet. Come on.
Just buy more. Just buy more. All right. So you've got the Lightning, a little plus money, and Edonk, you get to pick the basketball game tonight. NBA Eastern Conference Final. Heat still favored by 3.5 at home against the Celtics. What do they say? I know you've had discussions. Poker room lock. What do you got tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Celtics. I think they're gonna bounce back. I think they're just too good to lose here. They've been a really good road team. We're gonna take the Celtics for 4 stars, and everybody and their mother at the poker table on Monday loved the under. So we're gonna take the over because
bonus pick on the over.
Yeah, they gave so many reasons why. They're like, oh, they play such great defense, and they're not really good from 3. And so
it went over by like 30 points on Monday. Is that about right?
Yeah, and I had to sting Dr. Burbs for a few bills on Monday night. I gave him fair warning that it was a poker room lock. He still said he still wanted it. So no choice.
All right. So those are your 2 picks for tonight. 4-star from the Edonk. How many stars you want to put on this hockey game that you don't even really know who's playing?
4.25.
4.25.
Which is also the number of goals that we scored.
Okay.
Can I also clarify what are we wagering, Edonk? We're betting in not actual money, right? We're betting in
I'll bet 3 world tokens.
Okay, that's good.
Is that also 0? Is that 3 times 0?
Pretty much. Close.
All right. I have a bonus pick here from Jimmy Bluffett. I'm going to get this posted a little bit late, but Jimmy Bluffett wanted me to know that for the PGA Championship that's going on right now, he's loaded up on Justin Thomas. So that is a bonus pick. I got that information ahead of time, so I have a little bit on that. So we all know that's dead.
Does he need a bookie?
Say again?
Does he need a bookie?
I'll ask him. I'll ask him if that's the case. All right. Thanks again to Jorgy for the Week 3 Major League Wiffle Ball preview. One of the most anticipated shows in the history of Fade the Mahoney will be dropping a week from today. We're talking to the #1 draft pick for this season for Major League Wiffle Ball, Jordan Robles. Yep, there it is. Midwest Mallards. He's coming in hot and heavy with talk about numbers, and I think we're gonna have some shit talk. So that'll be good, gentlemen. Thanks for stopping by. 4 stars, 4 1/4 stars, 3 worth world tokens, priceless, worthless, something like that. Sound right?
But I mean, it's about a solid 7 cents. I think it's good.
All right. Say goodbye to the people. Good gambling, everybody.